I love the Twin Cities. I've never been able to bring myself to leave it.
Well, we tried to think of who could lead us around this burg to find some cool places with rock and roll history, and just kind of give the ethos of the Twin Cities. And I thought of John Munson, who folks may know going all the way back to Trip Shakespeare, certainly Semisonic. The Flops are the new standards still.
Yeah, we're still a going concern. In fact, yeah, we've got our big holiday show coming up here in December, which is, as Nick Lowe might put it, is maybe a little bit naff, but it's good fun for us. We like doing it.
Where are we now?
This is the 331 Bar, which is a groovy little music hangout in northeast Minneapolis, and it's a very small room, but this is exactly the kind of bar that we would have played back in the day. Probably 150 people in here would feel like a very busy, fun night. Minneapolis is now the land of 10,000 breweries. I mean, I'm sure it's the same in Philly.
And this is not.
This is, I think it's Kalamazoo or something. I was just saying to the bartender, I should be ashamed of myself. And he goes, well, as soon as somebody around here brews a beer as good as this, maybe I'll start drinking it.
Yeah. Well, let's check out this neighborhood. Maybe we'll go uptown as well.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
And wherever else strikes our fancy as we go along.
Excellent. So, before this opened, there used to be a bar here called the Uptown Bar. And it was kind of the center of the rock scene in this part of the city. And it was an easy place to play because, again, it was like, 200 or 300 people in the Uptown would feel like a really good night. And the Apple Store came in and they decided to tear down the Uptown Bar. And so the last night that the Uptown was open, my band, the Twilight Hours, played here. And then not 6 months after that, the good people at Apple called me up and said, so as long as you guys played the last night that the Uptown was open, maybe you'd like to play our grand opening of our store. And I was like, I guess we could consider it. How much are you going to pay? And they were like, oh, well, we're not going to pay you. And I was like, I don't think so. Because it just felt too much like going to perform some kind of a dance on all the good memories that I had of this place for what's now kind of just a center for consumer culture that chaps me.
We're in John Munson's space. Have you named your studio?
I call it Riverview these days. Sometimes I call it Dusty Hole, but I cleaned it recently, so now we call it Riverview.
Excellent. and you have a fair amount of kind of cool old instruments in here.
Yeah, I mean, not as many as some studios, but my studio mate and I both have, some kind of cool odds and ends. The main things that get used, though, are the piano, I mean, it's the piano, and normally there'd be a vibraphone sitting right here in the middle of the floor.
Kids, this is what a working studio looks like.
Yeah, it's pretty dingy, but it's you know how it is. It's like the clutter of the creative mind or something like that.
Absolutely.
This place is, I mean, you talk to musicians around the country and they will have their First Avenue stories for sure. I mean, it's been here for such a long time, everybody wants to play at First Avenue, and it's just saturated with energy and good rock and roll vibes. Something about the size of the stage feels just right. It's just big enough, so you really know you're doing something that's notable.
Well, we're here. Let's see if we can stick our nose in.
It's John Munson.
Say no more.
This is where the action is, right here. It's like this kind of interaction is like that's why musicians love to come here.
Great stage height.
Play it's like perfect. There's something about it that's just perfect. It's a huge thrill to play here, and it's the target. I guarantee it's the target of every single musician that comes up here is that stage.